Well, this video is a little bit of an anomaly. The original sound has disappeared, so I've got to remember what I said. This is a Class 73 that somebody gave me. Rather nice. People give me trains. It's really lovely. You can pause there if you want to see the numbers and all that good stuff. It's been out of its box before. I hadn't had it out, but railroad, so the detail is going to be less than wonderful. The fan on a modern model would rotate. I like it. I remember the livery. I used to watch these coming in and out of Dover Marine down in Kent. There were a few of them, I believe, fitted with pantographs. The reason I'm looking at the instructions is I can never remember how to get into these wretched things. And I know there's clips, and I'm kind of wondering, does it show me where the clips are? It does say something about turning the bogie sideways, but I was expecting originally to find a screw under it. Often use hotel keys for this kind of thing, since I've got so many of them when I'm working. Usually pick up one of them a day, so that's you're supposed to return them, I think, but we always whiz out the door at the last minute. The other thing you'll see me using is coffee stir sticks. These are actually from a model shop. They come in a pack, very like stir sticks, and you jam them under the side of the body to try and remove the body clips. Now, why they can't just put a couple of screws in the bottom and have done with, I've never understood. And it's deadly if you try and put a screwdriver in there. You're going to bend stuff up and scratch the plastic. I usually put my fingernails under the body and lift, but after a little while that gets really sore. You can always tell when I've been doing it. So jamming cocktail sticks or stir sticks under the side, I mean, you've seen people do this, I'm quite sure. What I'm doing is trying to fit a decoder. So we're going to try and get it off. There are a number of clips along the side, and on this one even, there's one on the front and one on the back as well. So here I go with the screwdriver. What I'm actually doing is trying to get it under the front clip, because you just can't get anything in there. It's just, in my view, a really bad way of doing things. Just, come on, manufacturers, just put a screw there. This particular model is does have the smaller tension lock couplings, so that's at least something. You can see me faffing around trying to get it off. I've got the front open, and you see all the sticks now fall out, and you should be able to see the clips. There you go. I was quite surprised at this one because there's no huge motor there. I think I'm more taken up by why is there a bunch of what appears to be heat gun glue sitting in the bottom there. But I'm going to pick it out. What's that doing? It's not actually holding anything, so why was it there? It doesn't make any sense to me. I should have and could have certainly added crew to this thing while I was in there. I may eventually go back and add head code lights. Very basic. But it is DCC ready. Before I ever fit DCC chips, I always try the model on DC and just whacking a 9-volt battery across the wheels, and I'm going to test all 4 wheel sets, simply because it picks up, it's all wheel pickup. I just want to make sure that part of it's working, so if anything does start getting wonky later, I'll know it isn't something that I've done it was at least running at the point I took it apart. Now I'm using Digitrack's decoders. There was, you can see the yellow sticker up there. There was an offer on these on the internet, and so I bought up a few of them. What I like about these is they have the extension cable, and very often if you try and buy the right chip, in this case, for example, it would not have fitted the way round I would have expected it to go. Just making sure that the chip is suitable. The chip is in the blue thing there, heat shrunk. And then there's this adapter cable. Now, it always looks like there's a wire broken off on any of these. They have that auxiliary wire that just sticks out. They should have thought about doing something with that. So I'm taking out the little blanking plate, and as I do, I'm keeping it the same way round. My eyes aren't as good as they used to. I'm just having a look, see where the pin numbers are. So that's pin 1 down there, I believe. And then it'll, you see that? And you've got to get the plug in the same way round. It was a stupid design that you could actually put it in both ways round. All they needed to do was put another pin on there and make it offset. Well, here's what the problem is. The adapter doesn't label pin 1, it labels one of the other pins, and so you've now got to make sure that it isn't put in the wrong way round. You would expect it to go in with the wires sticking out to the left, but it has to go in, see, like that. But you actually have to put it in the other way round, because that's pin 1 at the top left there on that one. So round it goes, and we're going to shove that in, and then we'll have to bend the wires back over the top of it. And that's what I mean about there's no standardization. And now, of course, they've gone away from the 8-pin altogether. You don't see those all that often anymore. Just trying to make sure I don't bend the pins up as I shove it in. And then we'll push the adapter into the chip itself. And that can only go one way round, fortunately. In this particular model, I still try and get it the wrong way round, of course. In this particular model, it works perfectly in that it folds over nicely and just sits on the deck. And you're going to see in a minute, I really must order myself some black tack. If you don't know what that is, it's like blue tack, only much stickier. And that will just fold down nicely and fit into the space in front of the plug there. Unfortunately, it pops back up again when I put the lid on, so you can see it through the windows, which really annoys me because there was no need for it. It could have just been bloop, and then it would have been great. What's he doing with a screwdriver? Well, remember I told you there's a wire that just sticks out for auxiliaries. I'm just tucking that in, make sure it's out of the way. There is a bit of black tack in the bottom there, but it's just not enough. I thought, good, that will solve it. Right, now pop the top on. Make sure it's the right way round. And all you have to do is put even pressure on the roof and make sure you just push it down until it goes pop. I'm spending way too much time looking at it, probably checking to see, is it the right way round? There is the one-piece glazing thing inside, which I'm trying to avoid breaking. You can see the scratch marks there. You see that? That's where it's been taken off with a screwdriver before. You see that there and there? That wasn't me. And I'm trying to line... Very often the clips don't line up if you turn it the wrong way round, which is frustrating. But I guess there's a right and a wrong. And you can see that chip has already come off the tiny bit of black tack that was down there. And then bloop, and that's on. Now, what I'm doing now is having a check to make sure that the running board, I don't know what else to call it, is lined up, and it actually isn't. You see, it's gone in too far one side, so now I've got to dig it back out again. It's really frustrating when that happens, because you saw me, I pressed it down evenly. I was very careful to do that, and yet So, and if you don't do that, what will happen is it will continually derail because the bogie won't turn, and it looks like it's driving along drunk, leaning to one side or something. Really cheap model. I don't know why I like it really, other than it brings back memories of yore. I really should model Dover Priory one of these days when I win the lottery, but of course to win that you have to actually play it. Dover Priory is a fantastic station to model. There's so much rolling stock from almost any era, and if you pretend the docks station is still open, you have three routes, you hear me? 3 routes going, I live in America, 3 routes going out. You can go out of the station in either direction to London, Victoria. It used to be in Charing Cross. I think it goes elsewhere these days as well. And then you have the Ramsgate line going out of one end as well. So there's all kinds of interesting goings on. On top of that, you have the unusual operating where they routinely bring trains over to platforms you wouldn't expect to see them in. Now then, is that lined up this time? Now I'm pushing on the bottom. Yep, that looks like it's... do you see how easy it came off the second time, though? Probably because it wasn't on properly. Right, well, that's it. We'll go and give it a try. But before we do, I've got one more to do. I'll make that a separate video. The next thing, you'll see me bring in the locomotive in just a minute. Next thing we got to do, it's a brand new locomotive straight out of the box, and it had a problem. Of course it did. It actually had 2 problems, and we'll talk about that in a separate video. But the second locomotive, I kind of thought, you know what, that's never going to need any work. But the coupling fell off, and one of the contacts was bent up. Well, there you are, 73, and looking through the window, you see that blue where the screwdriver's pointing at. That's annoying. I could have so easily avoided that. Well, that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. If you have anything specific you want me to rattle on about for about 10 minutes, just let me know. I'm not good at much, but we figure it out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm all very happy about it, but it had a couple of straight out of the box problems, and me being all the way over here and Hornby being all the way over there makes returning things really a pain in the bottom. All right, that's it. See you next time, and you can find out what I'm doing with that little tank engine another time.